Welcome to Influential Entrepreneurs, bringing you interviews with elite business leaders and experts, sharing tips and strategies for elevating your business to the next level. Here's your host, Mike Saunders.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Influential Entrepreneurs. This is Mike Saunders, the Authority Positioning Coach. Today we have with us Jared Hatch, who's the founder of TruSolace and Spa Accelerator. Jared, welcome to the program.
Excited to be here, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. I always love learning from different people's life and business experiences. So I want to hear all about how you do what you do and why you do it. But before that, give us a little bit of your story and background and how did you get into your industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, 8 years ago now, I got Lyme disease. I found out like a year later, wrecked my life and got a divorce, went back to no money and started from there. And from that place, when I was sick, as I was trying to find out, how do I have a normal life, or is life over? Which it felt like it was over. I started finding different things that were making me feel a little bit better, a little bit more, but I didn't know what was right or what to do. But I was just doing millions of different protocols, different food diets, changing lifestyles, meditations, mindset work. And eventually, after tons of modalities, I cured myself. And through that, when I was in it, I had a desire to help others because I go to these clinics and they'd be in it. And I was like, you know what, when I get better, I want to help people.
Yeah.
And then eventually I got better and I still didn't have any money. I had to figure out how to do that. And we started a marketing company and a weight loss company the same month in 2021 against my business coach's advice. He's like, do not start two businesses at the same time. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
And I did that exactly thing. And so we started a single room med spa in a basement, helping with weight loss and looking at like blood and just what might be causing some of the weight gain. And immediately we just took off out the gates. We were doing all our own marketing. I was also marketing for like 7 or 8 other clinics at the same time. And immediately I knew I was in the right vein. And the reason we started with weight loss is if you were a fisherman and you wanted to catch the most amount of fish, and especially in the United States, the most amount of people that would fit to maybe be able to help them would be overweight. We have a very large percentage of overweight and obesity in this country. And from that meeting point, we can help them with everything. But a lot of people don't want to meet and talk about any ailments because they're not even thinking about it. The only thing they might think about is that they don't like this belly fat over their pants.
Yeah.
So we pushed it all together.
With the low-hanging fruit.
Low-hanging fruit to create the highest impact on the most amount of people possible.
Yeah.
So not just low-hanging fruit for revenue, but low-hanging fruit for impact.
For impact. Yeah, literally, I was saying impact as you were saying impact. That's what it's all about, is you want to help and serve and give value. And you got to pay the bills, but where's the pain in society? And I see what you mean there. One question came to my mind as you were revealing your struggle when you finally found that cure. And I don't necessarily need to get into the weeds of what exactly you did and what order and whatnot, but I am envisioning several things like you mentioned. Do you feel like the final result cure for you was one thing that you finally hit on, or a culmination of the benefit of many things?
I think it's both.
Yeah. That's a good marketing answer.
And in full authenticity and in integrity, the reason I say it's both is it takes a series of different things and a way of being in leaning into curiosity and out of victim.
Yeah.
To give the body the frequency required to heal. And then from that place of curiosity, I did probably several things that gave the space for the body to no longer have to deal with that too. And then when it didn't have to deal with that two, and it only had to deal with 3 things instead of 37 things,
Yeah.
then the final acts they went a lot further. And if I would have just done one, but the ultimate thing, and the reason I say both, is I had to give myself, my mind, and my body some wins, some new perspectives, some perceptions from those new perspectives to find a newer perspective, to then from that place, being at that place now, being that human still sick, I could then now change my mindset in a new way and take choice back and prove the way I allow what's in my environment, emotionally, spiritually, health wise, what's going in my body. But you have to go up step one to get to step 100. And there's no skipping steps. I don't know that there's a right thing for anyone. I truly believe anyone can heal anything, including cancer. And I've never healed cancer in me, so I'm not telling you you can heal cancer and I know more than you. But I believe in my soul, we can heal anything. And this is where med spas and clinics are going to go. It's the patient's responsibility is to heal themselves. They need guides to help remember how to do it.
Yeah. It reminds me of like the age-old example that you've heard many times, I'm sure. Like if you're trying to figure out this problem and you're stuck in whatever business, let's say, sometimes when you take that break and go up to the mountains for a hike or go for a walk or whatever relaxation technique that you have, not relaxation necessarily, but, recreation. It seems like all of a sudden that's when some epiphany hits you because you're not grinding it out in the midst of the problem, getting all paralyzed. You're up there riding your 10-speed bike in the mountains going, ooh, that's a great idea. And it's exactly what you were just talking about there. And when you finally get some clarity, then you decide. And in deciding, there's the Latin derivative of that word is to cut off. And now you're deciding to go, I'm cutting off from these things that I, discovered now aren't serving me. And I'm going to now zero in and fine tune in on these things. And then probably from there, this is leading up to my question. What do you feel like is when someone gets that clarity and then starts getting those baby steps momentum and you start getting that positive affirmation of, ooh, I got that mini win. It gives you motivation to continue versus looking at some big mountain going, I've got to overcome that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting the goosebumps listening because I'm thinking of so the special part for me and for all of us is that's just a story, and that story overlays into all of our stories. So that for me taught me to take a break, to go deep. And now what I find to piece it into when I work with clinic owners is more than half the time, probably like 80% plus. They are stuck in the weeds because they had an idea and they were excited, and now here they are on the path to the mountain, but they're just over here in the bushes getting these things and grabbing these things, and they just lose sight of where they're even going. And most businesses get to this place and then they fail or they never scale past this, and this becomes their ceiling forever. And it's interesting because we do need to work hard and we need to do the right things. But what working hard means to me and what I teach my clients is we need to work on the right things, because working hard actually doesn't mean jack shit if you're not working on the right things in your business. Because I could work all year long and we could make no money and this is where it's interesting earlier when I'm like, it's not just about revenue, it's about impact. What I teach my team is everything is about impact. And the only way we can create impact is we need revenue.
Well, it's interesting. I've heard it said before too. Do you have 10 years experience, or do you have 1 year of experience 10 times over? Meaning, if you're not looking to expand and grow and constant never ending improvement, you've got 1 year of experience 10 times over. Or if you're learning from last year and improving, cutting off what didn't work, adding what did work, amplifying that, now you've got 10 years of amplification and compound effect. And that's a big point. And you cannot just go, yay, I said my affirmations, give me the remote control, and here comes the goodness. No, you got to actually do a little bit of work, but you better be working in the right direction, or else you'll find out you're spinning your wheels.
Yeah. I'll piggyback on that with like a matrice of that thought. So if we're gaining more knowledge, or we're learning, we're using words, and I'm going to clarify the words. So if we're learning more material, we watched all these videos from this coach, Alex Hermosi, Dan Martell, I'm going to get my time back. And we're learning all these things, and they go in our brain, but we don't complete the circle with action and integration. We actually didn't learn anything. We had a dopamine ride of learning with no implementation. So there was no learning.
Yeah. Huge.
It's almost like counterintuitive learning. I see a lot of this happening because they'll gain the knowledge, but there's no plan to implement. So then the body almost acts as if they're already doing it. And now it's like, yeah, it's interesting. This is probably the biggest thing I see with clients where it's like, hey, we're on the third call. We're talking about the same thing. Yeah.
When are we going to learn that the things we need to learn so that we can move forward? Because probably I know I'm like type A plus times 10, and most people that aren't even like that, they still don't want to waste their time. No. So most people, if they have a problem, they want a solution and they want to get there yesterday. So why keep ruminating over the same old? Let's just figure out the plan and tell me the next step to take to get to the end result. Let's go. I don't want to waste time. And most people would agree with that. I don't want to waste time. But the problem is if you were to ask most people that are struggling with whatever, what is your actual problem? They might give you a surface level response, and they might not even know what's underneath 2 or 3 levels that the true problem is that's making it manifest as the problem they're experiencing.
100%. Like that's to be like, yes, the systems, the funnels, the marketing plan, all the advertising assets, all the ad videos, the entire campaign, the entire sales training, the entire playbook, exactly how to sell it, exactly how to upsell it, program we give to clients we work with is what they buy and need. And then they want coaching. The main thing I see that's the highest value point is in our one-on-one or group calls when we can address a blind spot and it changes. And usually they're like, Jared, I finally realized like it's me. I'm like, it's okay, dude. Guess what else is
now
guess
let's
what
go.
Else is your fault?
Yep.
Business
now
creation,
that you've gotten here.
Well, no, but like the business creation was your fault. So of course the problems are your fault too. Everything gets to be your fault because you're amazing. And then we get to delegate, demonstrate, and let our team take on ownership. And it's still our fault, but we make such good processes and team that they can own it. And so what I usually find is they have a mindset issue around small little things that, like you said, are 3 layers deep. And we'll talk about surface. We'll go a little layer. We'll implement into some like real life scenarios. And then they got to go like bang up against the wall with the new perception a few times. Then we get to talk about it again. And then hopefully by like round 3, they're like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. But usually it's a lack of awareness, and it's unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competent, or conscious. I don't know if you've ever seen that stair set. And
I haven't.
You have to go through each set. There's no skipping them. And this is just reality.
Well, it's like you don't know what you don't know. And when you do know it, it's like, the angels are singing and all of a sudden it's like, hallelujah, I had no clue of this thing. And then that opens up a whole new world, and it's like Pandora's box. And it's like, now that you know this thing, now you should be working toward this and this and this, which opens up a whole, it's like levels of a video game, which I never got into video games, but I know that that's the case. And I think that when you can be that guide to in your arena working with med spa owners. When you can be that guide to open their eyes up to these kinds of things, now all of a sudden you're helping them to go from inconsistent revenue to building that scalable freedom-based business. What are some of those core framework steps that you're taking them through?
I'm going to go super high level first.
Yeah.
So like round one would be high level integration or just installing, because they don't even have it, a CRM with automations integrated to all their marketing platforms, if possible, into their EMR patient portal, and just having everything speak to each other and installing 5 more employees without hiring anyone else and increasing LTV, retention, re-nurturing campaigns. And that gets put in, and you have to have that framework in to do anything else I'm going to talk about. So when that framework's in and the ads are on and everything's just like, all right, now everything's working and it's all been tested and proven, and we're still testing and proving more continually forever.
Yep.
And we'll take care of that. So what that taken care of, what we want to focus on right now, guys, is usually we start with like a weight loss, like contouring or like a Ozempic, tirzepatide, semaglutide thing. And we look at their program, we look at their pricing, we look at their packages, we look at their sales training and like the staff. So we talk to the owners, then we talk to the team after we talk to the owners on separate calls. And we have to change mindset and everyone on full belief in what you're selling and how to lean on someone else's belief while you find yours with integrity, and then what it means to believe. And I just help people believe. And then once we can believe, and then we improve that one offer from this belief, and we put on all these add-ons, and we turn a crumbling device in a room into 50 to 100K more a month from a singular service. They're still doing the rest of the business, but we put focus on like a product that you can leverage. And so then they're like, oh my gosh, it worked. We paid for the program. This is great. And then we can go and install like the sexual wellness program, stem cells, peptides.
Because you're getting more clients come in because the message got clarified. And then the framework of all the follow-up and the foundation and those funnels are dripping on those new clients to go, oh, if you have this, you might also need that. And so now it folds in upon each other to give amplified results. And you said something powerful I want to just affirm, which is number one, belief, but number two, what you described from a marketing standpoint in academia, and I teach marketing for several universities, the marketing concept called IMC, Integrated Marketing Communications. And it's an actual thing in MBA level marketing strategy, but it means keeping your messaging consistent across all channels, but that also would go for all of your employees, because if you have all of the key decision makers or key players in your organization saying the same thing, and then the receptionist isn't on board, that's the weak link, and then it all crumbles. So everyone's got to be on board.
Yep. 100%. And we help them trickle in more, but we also go in, add in more front loading offers. So we'll like add in a pelvic floor chair so they can become more cyclical through the seasonality of the business. Because what I say is, sure, it's cyclical. Sure, there's seasonality. And we've done this to create controllables in the uncontrollables, because why not? Like, I'm not going to just be slow in September. We do this in September. And the other big piece, the final piece, so it's front, in middle, and then the final piece is LTV and true scale. So if a clinic can make 50,000, 100,000, 150,000 a month, that's awesome. And that's what you should do for sure right now, especially if you're new. But once a clinic has 1, 2, 3,000, 4,000, 6,000 patients, if they don't already have it, they need a continuity program to where you dump in a ton of recurring revenue. So if in 3 years something happens to you as an owner or whatever, or you decide you're ready to do something else, or you keep it anyways, you should still build it this way. Your business is worth 10 million, 12 million bucks, and you guys only bring in like 2.6. Yeah. But because you have recurring revenue and you built the ability to build a recurring revenue business through the entry point and the culture that we install, because you can't go at them. You can't build a membership business day one, especially if it's self-funded, like first location. I mean, you could, it just would be a feat, especially if this is someone's first rodeo. Like that might put them out of business because there was no cash flow. They didn't have enough devices because it just takes a minute to get to that point. But we have a roadmap that takes everyone from stage 1 to stage 10, takes out the pitfalls, don't waste money on devices, wait for this. When you buy it, here's the plan. As soon as the device arrives, everything's turned on. You've already front loaded with social posts. Let's make money day one. No devices sitting for 6 months or a year, which happens literally at probably most of the clinics I talk to. They buy something and then they figure it out.
I've heard it said in the personal development and coaching, worlds, is you sell the product before you even build it. And if it's a coaching program and it's a 12-week coaching program, you sell the concept, take the money in and do week 1. And all you have to do is stay 1 week ahead of the class and build the content and deliver it. Well, then that's what you're just saying. You build the demand and build everything, and then you get the equipment in and boom, you got sales ready to roll.
100%. 100 million percent. I mean, the first group we did with Spa Accelerator, I had 5 people on hey, let me tell you about how I could help you call. I was like, this is how I do it. These are my pillars. This is what we focus on. This is what we're going to do for you. If you're interested, this is how much it costs. And I didn't even set a high price, a mid price, and a low price and set it up correctly. I just had one price. I was like, $6,000 for a year. And 4 of the 5 people signed up, and I did exactly that. We had the first 3 weeks ready. I had a mess of the rest of the weeks that wasn't organized ready. And we just did that with them, and they absolutely loved it. And then after doing that, we made the best course ever. We improved our clinic dramatically on top of all that. And then we built out on a click of a button, we can onboard clients now. And now we're able, and the great part about not just building it and then helping your clients is you might miss a bunch of pieces you needed because you weren't getting live action confirmation of what the needs are of the clinics you're working with.
Yeah. Because you're in the trenches with them.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's just like the old adage of the educator that teaches because he can't sell. But if you're a salesperson and you're just rocking on the sales and you're also teaching what you're doing, that's the best combo. I want to work with a med spa owner that is scaling their business. And then you're teaching me how to do what you're doing because you're really the guide in the jungle with the machete going, follow me and do what I'm doing because success leaves clues.
Full disclosure, I agree with you. And then the main reason I decided to do the coaching thing, because I actually was not going to do it. I said no for a year. And it was all warm leads. I want to build a med spa group. The biggest leverageable monetary impact for me and my team and people I work with would be a group of 50 to 100 locations. And we'd create the biggest impact on humanity because we'd be creating our impact and we'd be in charge of it. So the reason we're coaching is it's an acquisition or equity play with the right owners. So we want to coach 300 clinics in the next 2 years, and we want to build a 50 to 100 clinic group. And then we want to make it so beautifully amazing. There's never been anything like it. And if you're a part of this group, when we sell, the equity firm that buys will be required to sign a disclosure. It'll make it harder to sell. And if it can't sell, then we'll keep it. You can't break any of these 3 guidelines. We are a transformation guide clinic, and we focus on the soul, the body, and all that. And this must stay. And if it doesn't, you will be sued for the purchase price and we will take the business back.
Wow.
And then when everyone's paid out, 10% of what we're paid, we're all going to do, and there's going to be qualifications. You can't just do a charity. We're going to create impact, but we're going to create impact. We're not going to put money into garbage charities. Yeah. Everyone's going to create a verified within the rules, and we're all going to pay tithing to our brothers and sisters that we're all connected with through our amazing day. And if you don't like that, that's fine. You can't join the group.
Yeah. If you don't want to join, don't join. Because and I love that halo effect. In marketing, it's called cause marketing and the halo effect. But you're not doing it for the purpose of making sales. You're doing it for the purpose of creating a mission and value.
Yeah, and obviously there's a massive payday. Like 50 locations doing 1 million a year can pay out, 500 to 2 billion, depending on the yearly revenue. If we're doing like 2 million a year, it's depending on the multiple, it could hit around $2 billion, which that's life-changing money. Like if you put that kind of money in the right developed, conscious people's hands, and now they've gone down this path and become who they are today, what would those 100 owners or 50 owners with 3 locations each who got a massive payday and a beautiful journey to something they would have never partaken if we didn't all meet, what are we going to do to our brothers and sisters we meet now? I keep saying brothers and sisters. I normally don't say that.
Our compadres, our colleagues, our community. Right. Our tribe. Yeah. Well, you think of it like an apple. If you have an apple tree and you have an apple, you can eat one piece of fruit. But if you plant the seeds in that, it can be multiple trees, which then make dozens and dozens of apples. And it's that ripple effect. So that's just powerful. I love your crusade and vision and mission, Jared. If someone is listening to this thinking, I want to learn more, how can they learn more and then also reach out and connect with you?
Inside the bio, we'll put some websites and stuff, but easiest way, top of mind, go to Instagram, Facebook, search the word Spa Accelerator or Real Jared Hatch. You'll find me or you'll find Spa Accelerator. I'll put some other websites underneath that you guys can click on as well, but that'll take you to everything. And then DM or call us and you guys can set up a one-on-one call. We do workshops where we can show you what we do. And if you like what we show you, then we can work together. I just want to work with people who are ready to lean in and see my value. And if you're the right type of client, like we don't work with everyone. We've definitely said no. My first 4 clients, I fired one of them, 25% of them in 2 weeks. I just would prefer to only work with those who are going to show up, because I find the other ones just take all my time and I don't want to work with them.
Yeah.
So not saying I don't want to work with you, but if you're ready to make a move, go to one of those, hit us up. Me and my team will reach out and we'd love to meet.
Excellent. Well, Jared, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a real pleasure chatting with you.
Thanks, Mike. It's been a pleasure being on. We'll have to get you out on our podcast sometime.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right.
You've been listening to Influential Entrepreneurs with Mike Saunders. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.influentialentrepreneursradio.com.